Hi, everybody. How you doing today? It's Friday in real time, so vacation weekend is coming up. So I thought I'd do something fun today, and I hope that I can make this work. Did you ever do paint by numbers as a kid? I did. I still remember, getting the little, I don't know, was it 5 by 9? It wasn't, I don't think it was 8 by 10, although it might have been. And getting the little cups that you had to pop open, and your brush it came with it. I used to love that stuff. Well, there is an online version. For your phone, there are several apps for this, and I have been quite taken by this one. And I want to tell you about it because I'm going to tie it in theologically. You'll be surprised. I'll be surprised. Well, I'll be surprised. So for today, I picked this picture. Let's see. There. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a landscape, right, of mountains and plains, and it's got some clouds above it. And when you first pull it up, that's what you see. And down at the bottom, you have different colors, and these scroll along for your different colors and different numbers. And you can see that there are some numbers, but there are a lot of lines, especially down at the bottom, where you can't really see what the numbers are. But if you do that magic thing, that we do with our phones, where you go like this and make things bigger, well, then you can see quite clearly that you have these areas with different numbers on them. So let's say I see 55 and 54. They're pretty big numbers there. So I'm going to scroll across the bottom until I get to 55 and 54. Everything, fortunately, is in numeric order. So, all right, so you see we have those down at the bottom. And I'm going to touch on 55. And then you see where 55 is, it's got those shaded checkerboards. Well, then if you just touch where the checkerboards are, it fills in the color. Isn't that the coolest thing? And you see there's kind of a circle that comes around 55 at the bottom there. That's to tell you how much of that color has been used up. And there's just a little bit left that's not gray. So that tells me that somewhere in here there's another 55. And if I scroll to the right just a little, see, I was here, and if I just move over a little bit, or I could, shrink it a little bit, either way, all of a sudden I see there are more colored places, more of the shaded checkerboard places. And so I touch those, and the color appears. And here's another one. When it's all done down here, when that circle has gone all the way around and it's done, 55 is taken right off the board. It's shoved over at the right with a check mark. And so you know that color is all used up. And ideally, you want to get down to the point where all colors are used up, right? And as I make this smaller and go back kind of to the original, you can see how that begins to fill in the paint by numbers. Some of these are very complex. Some of them take a long time. Of course, I'm doing them while I'm watching TV or something else. It's very relaxing. All I am focusing on is this one little section. And then maybe I'll move the screen a little bit and focus on the next section and look at the numbers there. And when I'm doing this, when it's all big like this, now let's see. Here, for instance, there are several 52s on here. Can you see those? So let me just do 52 for a minute. Which is right here. 52. And see how they get all. So when I'm doing this, all I see are these little sections, right? I don't have any idea how they're going to fit together. They're just pretty little geometric shapes. Some of them are big, some of them are small, some are between others, and you have to just touch it just right to fill it in. But when you get it all done, the whole thing is colored in. And I have one to show you that I finished. Well, I finished several of them. Like here's one No, I don't want to restart it. No, I just want to... Oh, I think I downloaded it. Wait a minute. Because that's another thing. You can download it. You can send it to other people. If you want to go back and look at it again, I send them to Carly whenever I finish because I figure she just needs to know what her mother's doing. But like, here's one. Here's one that I did yesterday, I think it is. I mean, isn't that pretty? And it's peaceful. There are all different ones you can do. There are people, there are landscapes, there are just flowers, there's birds. Some of the apps have different cartoon characters in them. You go for fanciful things. I tend to do, kind of the peaceful landscape. I also have a bunch of churches that I've done. So why am I spending time talking with you about paint by number on your phone apps? Because it reminds me every time I do it that I only see one little part. Maybe I see a little bit bigger, and those would be places where several colors would interact. Rarely do I know what the big picture is looking like as I'm filling in each of the little details. I'm focused on what I'm doing. I'm boundaried to just do certain numbers until I intentionally shift to another number. And yet you pull the whole thing together, you step back and you look at it, and they're really pleasant pictures. Some of them are landscapes that I feel like, I don't feel like, I meditate over. I can look at it and say, oh, what would it be like to be walking along that river? Oh, let me put myself up on top of that mountain. Oh, I wonder what that church is like on the inside. I think a lot of us go through life wanting to see the big picture. How is this going to fit together? How is this going to work out? This decision I'm making now, how's that going to affect me down the road? This person in my life, whether it's a good relationship or a toxic relationship, how is that expanding to affect and touch other aspects of my life? How does my life fit in with other people's lives? Paint by numbers is a good remedy or a good process maybe for reminding me, and perhaps you, that we just focus on our little bit, on just the little color that we can add to a situation, on just a certain small boundaried piece. I'll tell you, when you get all the way through that, if there is one little section that's left undone. Now, if it's a larger section, when you zoom out and you're almost done, but you can't get rid of this one or two colors down here, they have just a couple pieces left. You zoom out. Sometimes you can see the white absence of color. And you can expand and zoom into it and place your color there, and that will complete the picture. But other times they're so small that even when it's expanded, you really have to search for them. You can, by watching an advertisement for another app, they'll give you a hint so that you can press that and it will take you right to the one you're missing. But when I'm doing that and I'm looking for that one little sliver that needs to be addressed, it can take some time and some intention to really look over everything that I've done and to say, where is the one piece that's missing? Where is there the absence of that one piece of color? Taken on another level, I can also see the parallel with God in our lives. Most of us look at our faith, and we have certain practices, whether they involve church or personal devotional time, or last night in the evening prayer group, we were talking about how it is that we have learned to recognize God in different settings in our lives. How did you learn that? How did you come to associate that event with God being in your life? Fascinating discussion. Took us probably through 2/3 of our time together. It was just wonderful. Now, one of the things that I realized again last night is that we really do develop our ability to see God in different places. God is in every place, every part of our lives, but we tend to see God initially just in a few places. Maybe if we go to church or we worship with a community, that's one place, or daily devotions or prayer life or whatever routine we set up. And that's like coloring in some of those splotches, some of those areas. And then you pull back and you realize, wow, there's a lot more of this picture I still have to go. A lot more places there for God to fill in. And figuring out how to spread God's color across all of my life is a joy, and it is ongoing. And no matter how good I get at it, there are always some sections that don't have the color in it yet. And I have to go back and address those to complete the picture of my life. How about you? As I said, there are a lot of programs that do this. This one happens to be called Happy Color. So if you go to your app store, and it's free, it's a free app, look up Happy Color. You too could be doing paint by number on your phone. But as you're doing it, I encourage, and they're beautiful colors, and some of them are beautiful pictures and scenes and flowers and birds and butterflies and starscapes. I mean, it's very pleasing to look at. But it's also relaxing. But if you take it a step farther, I think it can provide a good meditative practice for you as you think about how is it that God fills in and brings color and life to every part of my life, of your life. Thanks for joining me. I know it's a different kind of thing, wasn't it? But I think it's a really good message, and something it reminds me every day to think about letting God, inviting God to color in all the parts of my life. Prayerful Pause with the Pastor is now done for the week. I'm Pastor Deb Swift with South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York. I look forward to seeing you back here next time. If you're in a position to financially support this ministry, we invite you to do so. The web address is on the end slide of this video. And on the website, you can find a mailing address if you'd rather send by USPS. There is, however, a donate or a giving tab on the website. You could give us your gifts financially. We appreciate all the support. And if you're not in a position to support us financially, we trust and hope that you will support us with your prayers. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend if you're watching on a Friday. If not, have a good day. We'll see you next time, okay? God bless. Be safe. Be well. Take care. And bye for now.